Alrighty, guys. Welcome to this Thursday, June 18. And we are looking at the market, which is pretty much in a holding pattern after yesterday's little sell-off. We had the Fed announcement yesterday. Fed left it unchanged as you would have expected. And they just pretty much uh, sold off after the talk. But he's changing stuff around there. So it didn't feel like it was it's like a reason for the sell-off more than market kind of sold off. Maybe didn't get enough, or maybe they thought they're not going to get enough rate cuts or whatnot. We're going to get a lot less information from the Fed, prediction and forecasting and all that stuff, which you never get right. So that's kind of what I think what the market was reacting to. But right now we kind of retrace most of it, all right, back up again to where we started this whole thing off. So not a totally crazy reaction. Looking at the news this morning. News this morning is 8:30. We get jobless claims, Philly Fed, leading indicators at 10. Then we have 5-year tips auction at 1. So that's it. So 8:30 and 10 we have news, and then that's pretty much it. Now tomorrow all markets are closed. It's a half day on the futures. I'm not going to open the room. It's going to be probably a pretty slow day. So we'll be back on a Monday again. But that's Juneteenth. That's that new holiday they put out. So that's a holiday on Friday. So this is the last trading day before the weekend. So you're going to get a long weekend. But looking at this right now, I left those. I didn't come or collapse or these last few days of trading on the F1, and you can see this. We had that last day when they really started extending to the upside, and that was after the Iran deal. It looked pretty promising, and we backed off a little bit, and then we backed off even more. I had a little sell-off here, and then the Bourse thing sold it off pretty good, and now we're kind of holding again. So interesting dynamic. I'm not sure quite what to make out of it just yet. We'll see if but the market is still up towards the highs. And it seems like if that Iranian thing holds now, they signed that already, and we'll see if the Iranian signs it too. But once the Iranian signs it, then they have that 60-day period. And I mean, worst case, they go back bombing them. That's kind of what the outcome. So we'll see what the Iranians going to do. But right now, I think the markets are going to be in a spot where they look at that as a done deal, at least for now, even if it may flare up later. And I want to start off range bound right now. I think we have backed off the high a little bit too much to say that we still have a big long bias on there. We're not in a move out of the middle to the upside any longer. So I would just say that okay, we are pretty much range bound. I would watch this lower area, the 74.60s. That's going to be the key area to watch for a potential move to the downside. So as they trade above that, I think we are in a pretty good spot to potentially take this higher. Let's see if they can do that. Right now, this could be a potential move lower. We'll see what today brings. We have a long weekend, but I don't think the market is going to be in a concerned mode about selling off. I mean, there's no real. If that Iranian deal holds, it's going to be not a bunch of concerns out there. So we can probably stay optimistic on that and say that fine, we are going to be range bound. We may have a shot at the market recovering a little bit. So I would look to sell strength 75, 65, 80s, 7600s up to the 7610. If they start taking out the 7600s up here, and this is this 75, this is 70. 7600 is going to be the mode here from that prior distribution. Start taking out that even above that 75, 65, 70, that takes us above this level. I'm going to actually take off that level right now. I don't think that's that strong anymore. This guy right there, so take that thing off. This guy on the bottom below it, I'm going to leave a nice 75.15 big ledge right there. Looks like that worked for overnight as well. So, but up here, I don't have a whole lot to lean against right now. So On the F1, I'm just going to try to keep the levels, which feels like they are a little bit stronger, like general areas of congestion we need to pay attention to. So looking for short against the 75, 65s, the 80s, the 7600, 7610s. Now, if the 7610s, 7600 starts coming out and they start trading above that, most likely to start leaning more towards the long side of the market. I think at that point they have a shot at getting right back in and track again for new moves to the upside. We are in that summer period. This is summer trading right now, so volume it's not necessarily to the downside yet, and there's a lot of stuff happening in the world, but it's still a period where you usually see a seasonal weakness. Now, it doesn't need to come in June or July. It can come in August, September. It just depends, but usually we get at least a pretty good downdraft in this time period, so worth watching for. I am not. I'm not going to be trying to guess when that happens. It's just when it happens, it happens. But just don't be surprised if it happens. Put it that way. Overall, with a lot of these positive things happening in the world, I think we have a shot at holding things together. But technical sell-offs happens no matter what. So it's we could very well find ourselves in one of those in not too distance of a future. I didn't put the level right here on the at 75 60s. It gets a little bit crowded with this up here, so it's going to be two levels right on top of each other. But I left it right here at that four-letter edge at that 75 65 instead. So looking for short setups against resistance, looking to buy against support against the 75 30s, 20s, 75 05, 75 74 95s. And of course, if they start taking out this low down here, I should probably drag that down a little bit. Like so. Oops. My F1 on the ES, there you are. So down to this little volume node you see at 74.90s. If that kind of, see, this is the mode of the 612 trading session, and then you have a little ledge here. So that's a good level to lean against. And if that comes out, it starts trading below it, I think we may have to lean in on the short side a bit. So that 74.50 comes a little bit lower than that, but I would say that below that 74.94, 74.95 to 7,500, that level comes out, I would probably be more aggressive on the short side. So that's the range I think we're going to be working with today. So believe between 74.95 and that 76.10, we are trading right smack in the middle. So let's see where they're going to go from here. Fallout from the Fed announcement can still be very much in the mind of traders. The Iranian deal, I think, is off their mind right now in the short term, and then we'll see. Beginning of July, we're going to get the next earnings season, I believe, in the second quarter earnings. So that's going to be the next big thing happening. But that gets us into July. Right now, we are halfway through June. We've got a little bit left to go there. On the Nasdaq, big moves on the Nasdaq. That one's swinging wildly. I probably have to put that on the sidelines a bit, wait for that to calm down a bit, because you can trade it or find really good trade locations. I mean, I got cream delivered on the ES with crazy volatile yesterday, so you just have to be cautious about it. When volatility is like this, you just have to try to trade it with a bit of caution, because it's you can be right on a trade and get knocked out. You can be get stuck in a trade, and it just a little bit of volatility knocks you out. So it is definitely a lot more volatile right now than it's been for a long time. So it's I would just trade it as such and just be mindful about that. Let's look at the average size of the bars. No matter what size bars you trade with, if it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or volume bars or not, just for whatever chart you're looking at, just look at your average bar size, and then try if it starts getting above your stop size, then you have to start rethinking what you're doing, right? And you'll see how that goes. So on the Nasdaq, same story there. As long as they hold above this area, the 260s, I'm going to stay positive that we can take this higher. But for the session, I'm just going to start off range bound, the same as the ES. And looking to sell strength against that 490s, 540s up to the 580s. Looking to buy weakness at 360s, 290s down to the level at 220s. Below 220s, I would probably start thinking short side of the market, see if they're going to try to take it lower. Above the 590s, see if they want to try to take it higher. So that retracement, we have a pretty good potential retracement here above that 580s. That could be a pretty nice move to the upside. And if they start taking out this the 220 low, it's not the day session low, but it's just a where the overnight session made a stand. They opened lower and then they ran right up here again. But it's if they start taking that out, start retracing that overnight session, I would be more inclined to stay on the short side a little bit more aggressively. So that's how we get started on the ES and the Nasdaq. So range bound on both of them. I would trade them, fade them equally on each side, and we know when to change our bias as to when we may have a breakout occurring or a direction forming. On the bond market, we are way up. We are up to the 1320s, and that's a pretty good sign. And in terms of the, hang on, guys. Give me a second. Hang on. So on the bond market, definitely had a nice leg higher in the overnight. Yesterday was back and forth a bit, but it looks like the bond market is positive on this Kevin Warsh thing, so they are way up. And he's going to probably start using some different data. Yeah, I was calling me early today. So start using different data for his analysis and different metrics. I was listening to some of the pundits after the press conference, and they were kind of giddy. It's kind of funny to listen to. They used to just hammer Powell for using obsolete, outdated data, and it's making that the key point. And you kind of have to listen in. It's the finer points of what they're talking about, but it is definitely something worth paying attention to. I think that Warsh guy is going to probably do a pretty good job, at least be a little bit more current and up to date. Powell seemed to be a little bit tired at the end there. So, but it looked like the bond market is kind of happy about the whole thing. I'm going to trade that with a bit of caution and see if they're going to try to take this higher or not. But I would just take it a little bit of caution right now. See what they want to do with it. So range bound there, I would probably start from the long side, say look to buy weakness against the 1314 and the 1306s or 6 to 8 here. And if they start trading below that 8 back in this lower distribution, I'm back on the range bound side again. So that's how I'm starting on the bonds. The cryptos had a pretty good move in the overnight. Look at this thing moving. Now, this is interesting because they tend to move in the evening, my evening. So I can sit here and trade it at night. I just have to be cautious about it because the volume is only 15,000 traded on silver here, but it moves pretty good. So you have to be a little bit cautious about it. Gold moved down quite a bit. Both of them have been moving quite a bit. So 4,300 down to 42. So $100 down on gold, 60 like $3 down on silver. There's a lot of movement. Oil down at 75, and that's also the same as on the CME contract. So it's a pretty positive scenario. Now, if oil starts crashing down as we would expect it to, then we'll see things start changing pretty quick. Now, all these pundits start screaming about gas prices or how bad everything is right now. It's going to just have nothing to say about it anymore. So, but this is futures prices, so 75. Spot prices, where they actually had to buy it, is different, but it's going to follow suit pretty quick. So it's $75 oil right now, futures contract, and that's a pretty positive sign. So I think that's when we wrap it up. So Remember, that's trading day before the weekend, Juneteenth. Tomorrow, the markets are closed. So we'll see what kind of session we get. I may get some action here in the beginning before things start slowing down. But right now, starting off range bound, and let's fade the edges fairly equally until we see something else develop here. Alrighty, guys, we'll leave it there. So good trading. I'll see you back at 11:30 for the next update. Later.